14, episode 3, technically. This is just one day after we shot the last one, so forgive our timing, but we did have to shoot 2 in a row because we wanted to go on vacation. Today we'll be making just regular white sandwich bread and 2 loaves of it, so a lot. We're gonna start off with 2 cups of warm water and 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. So I think that's just 1 packet. It's whatever the equivalent is to 1 packet, the standard size you get in the grocery store. So I'm gonna do yeast first and then water. Spatula a little bit. Then I'm gonna add butter, a half a stick of butter, melted, a tablespoon of sugar, just white granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Now mix that up. And we're going to start to add some flour. We're going to do this in thirds of flour, so it's going to be a lot of mixing. This is 5 1/4 cup of flour. We're going to do 2/3 mix. Or we're going to do, 2/3 and split up into 1/3 each. And then we're going to dump it out and do the rest of it while we need. Incorporate the rest of the flour while we need. There's so much flour. I'm a little nervous. A little nervous for how much flour there is. It smells yeasty. I was a little worried about putting that salt in, but I think because I put the sugar in before the salt, maybe that helped. I don't know. I don't know the rules of yeast. I hear different things every time I watch a different video. Maybe I should investigate the science of it. That's probably now more than 1/3. That's okay. Basically, you aren't going to be able to just mix in the last third of the flour with just a spatula. You're going to need to knead it in and work it in that way. Baking is so pretty. There's so much just like purity to baking. I'm sure a chemist or a scientist that has to work in like very exact measurements to do experiments maybe understands like a similar thing from what they do. But like to make this loaf you need exactly this amount of salt. And I just like that. Otherwise you're making something else. Okay, this is mostly incorporated. I'm nervous. I think I should try to get more in now before I dump it out. It just looks like it's going to go all over my surface if I try to dump that flour in. There's still plenty of room to grow. I'm going to put more in. I feel more comfortable with that. I also have set aside a oiled bowl for us to put the dough in once we have it all incorporated and we've kneaded it for 15 minutes because we're going to let it rise for an hour after it all comes together. Okay, now I'm going to take it out. Yeah, I think this will be okay. It's going to get tough, but it's so warm and soft right now. Just trying to get this stuff that I can see on the bottom into the dough before I turn it out. All right, here we go. Okay, so there's some more flour that I'll just work in slowly as I need. Kind of nice to kind of flour your surface as you go, knowing that you want to incorporate that flour. I can see I'm going to get our kitchen very floury though. It's pretty sticky right now, but I know I have so much to go that I'm not worried about how sticky it is. It's also very soft, so I know I'm headed in the right direction. Alright, so I'm going to spend the next 15 minutes slowly working in the rest of this flour, then kneading. I probably will get it in before 15 minutes are up, but then you also just need to knead it for 15 minutes total to get that gluten developed. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll see you in about 15 minutes. right, so I've been kneading for more than 15 minutes. I just got the rest of my flour to get incorporated into my dough. I'm gonna shape this up, put it in my oiled bowl, and then cover it with plastic wrap, and we're gonna let it rise for about an hour. Okay, oiled bowl. I'm gonna do the thing that I always rub it around a little bit so it doesn't stick as it rises and to keep it moist. Okay, that's good. All right, our dough is in the bowl, so it's gonna rise for about an hour and we'll see you back here then. All right, we are back. It's been an hour. Our dough has risen. We're gonna give it another 5-minute knead and then put it back into the bowl for another hour rise. It's very stiff, like it holds its form so well, as you can see. That's wild. It doesn't stick to the work surface at all. I really didn't need that extra flour. It's crazy. It's still soft. I'm so glad. This is probably my best dough product. Dough product that I've made. If you guys have tips on my kneading, please feel free to comment and let me know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just try to do what I see. All right, there's my dough. I'm gonna put it back in the bowl. We're gonna rise for another hour. Okay, welcome back. We are after our second rise, so it's been another hour in this bowl. I'm gonna butter these 2 loaf pans with some butter, just using my fingers. It's not like the most glamorous activity. Try to get it into all the crevices. It's basically so your bread comes out nicely when you want to depan it. You don't want too much butter in one spot, obviously. It'll get different cook on it when it's in the oven, because it'll have oil. Okay, now that those are done, I'm just going to wipe off my fingers a bit. And now for dumping out the dough, cutting it in half, and making 2 loaves. I've got one pan that's slightly bigger than the other ones, 9x5 and 9x4. That's what it is. There it comes again. I'm gonna try to do even, because I know if I do even, it'll probably come out with one a little bigger. As we know from dinner rolls, right, Dan?
Right.
Oh, it's tough to cut through. I think that's probably good. Okay. Alright, I'm going to shape them first and then decide which one's the bigger one, because I can't tell. They smell good. They smell raw, obviously, but they smell rich, like yeast. What do you think?
Yep.
What do you think about the size? Which one do you think is bigger? I think this one is.
That one's bigger.
This one? Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna put the that part that you can see on the bottom of the loaf pan. I'm just gonna let it sit. It's gonna rise more in the next 45 minutes, so I'm not worried about it not filling up the sides. Plus, it'll rise a lot more in the oven. push this one down a little bit just because it was thick on one side. 2 loaves. Now they're going to prove for 45 minutes and then go into a 400-degree oven, which you can start to preheat now. We'll be back in 45 minutes. Okay, we are back. This is the end of the 45-minute prove, so they've risen quite a bit in their tins. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them into a 400-degree oven that has been preheating for 30 to 35 minutes. These are different pans, so I'm going to put one in for 30 minutes and one in for 35 minutes. There you go. So I'll see you in 35 minutes. All right, it's been 30 minutes. I'm gonna check on that first loaf that's in the red pan and see if it's ready to come out. I'm gonna give it a little extra time, so they both probably need. I'm gonna give that one 2 more minutes, and then we'll probably give 5 more on top of that one for the other one. All right, it's been 2 more minutes since the last time I checked the one in the red pan. I'm probably just gonna pull it out regardless of what it looks like because I don't know. And put this back on for about 5 more minutes. I'm gonna let this one cool for 15-20 minutes before trying to get it out of its pan. Okay, so it's been 5 more minutes in the oven for the second loaf, which is a little bit bigger. We're gonna take it out now. Oh, this one looks better to me. I don't know why. And we're just gonna let those guys cool for 15 to 20 minutes and then we're gonna depan them and see how I did. Okay, everybody, we're back to check on how the loaves did. I'm gonna turn out this one, which we took out first. Ooh, came out really nicely. Bottom looks good. Ooh, I may have left this one in a little bit too long, that's okay. And then I'll do this one too. Oh, it came right out again. I think we did a good job buttering our loaves. They look great. I think this is exactly what I was hoping for. Bottom's still nice and brown. Tell it's hollow. Here, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'll put it up to my mic. All right. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how these turned out. Daniel and I are going to cut into them later when they've cooled off a bit more and we can spread something nice onto them. But I'm happy. They sound hollow. Good job.